welcome to all of you. It's a big pleasure to be here with you and to start the journey. I will give some insight of what Serco is and how we will run these days together and all the elements that you will need from us. You already had a lot of information, I assume, from Ilaria and maybe Barbara as well. Anyhow, try to synthesize here a little bit what we will talk about. So first, Hackathon is a Phiweek. We are part of this big event. Pleased to provide some elements. But what Serco is doing is maybe not very clear. So first, oh, it's passing too fast. So first, to stop that some way. Sorry for that. I didn't know there were this element here. Well, okay, I'm sorry. It will be a little bit dynamic. So Serco, as you can see here, Serco is doing quite a lot in the space, what we call the space value chain. It's not only satellite imagery, but it is also all the element that is before the design of the satellite, the operation, planning of this mission, the ground segment, which is key for us, which is basically how we set up all the network and the tools and the machine that allow to play with the satellite, to task the satellite, and to recover the data from the satellite. There is an important part here, which is the quality control, okay, in the ground segment part. Why I emphasize this, it's very boring, that stuff. What I emphasize here, the satellite data management part, is because that's the place where you will get access to our stuff, our data, okay? It's all the data, it's all how we disseminate this data. And also there is a specific part on that we call the HERO educational training, which is basically that you know how to use these tools and you feel confident in using them. There is also a small part here, which is the complex satellite data services, which is bringing value around the data. So we are not doing what you are doing yourself, and we are not this brain here, but it's to some extent providing to you or to other institutions what we call the analysis-ready data. So the data are pre-configured, pre-processed, such a way that you can input them directly in your own processing. Okay. So as you can see, we have a lot of customers. I indicate here the most institutional ones. So the European Commission, the ESA, and EUMETSAT, and we are operating all these steps for all of them. But we all start also to have quite a lot of an important footprint, I would say, in these national space agencies. And you can see here the French one, the Italian one, and the DLR. In terms of, I'm really sorry to jump, but in terms of the services, so I will describe quickly the Copernicus one. That's a good point. Here we are. There is also ONDA. We come back to that, but also the mechanism of distributing the data to the core services. So with respect to this hub here, you may know it because this is basically the catalog that has been used since years to access Copernicus satellite data. So Serco is managing that. So the challenge here is the volume of data that we have to deal with, is the number of customers that we have, and is the SLA and the KPI. That's a worldwide data access mechanism that has to be maintained, and failure is not an option. So, but you know that because, or you will know it, accessing the data is key, is the fuel to all the elements that you are doing, but also that we are doing. There is another element that's quite important, is maybe you know it, Copernicus is a big program. There is not only the data and the satellite data, but there is also the services. And so here there is a list of these services: climate, marine, atmosphere, land, security, emergency. And all of them rely on satellite data, not only, but this is an important part. And not just the Sentinel Copernicus data, but also VHR or commercial license protected data. Well, Serco is in the core of the data distribution mechanism because we are operating this. We are guaranteeing that each of these services, this means the company that is behind these services, can access to the right data to generate the information of these core services. So on one hand, you have the catalog for the dissemination of the Copernicus data. On the other hand, you have the catalog for distributing other data type. And it was quite natural that we participate to DIAS. So here I just put Onda. Here again we are. I will stay to this one. Onda is basically the answer to the European Commission in assessing all the challenge that are imposed by the big data concept. What is the big data concept? Is as you can see here on the left-hand side, a huge and continuous information flow. That's the reality today. You know it, huh? We have a lot of satellite, we have a lot of data coming in, and not only satellite, by the way, we can think about drone, we can think about ASP and pseudo satellite, we can think about in situ ancillary information. The real strong of where you are and that you can bring to us, or what we can do together, is really developing that in a system that take the full benefit of this information to generate value added to the society. Again, Phiweek, new space economy. So we have to really think about the services and the elements that can be done, leveraging this huge volume of data and the capacity to process them. So there is two keywords when we are talking about big data is automation, processing, and virtualization. We are not anymore in processing the data manually. We make it automatic because we do have a lot of data coming in. So it has to be really automatic. And on the other hand, you don't think to download this data on your own storage because we are talking about petabytes of data per day that are coming available. So this is basically the key points of ONDA, of the DIAS concept. DIAS stands for Data and Information Access Service. And this responding to these challenges. So I don't know, Alessandro, you stop me when you want to add something with respect to OVH, but maybe I will close with these two next slides, and then you can present some component of OVH. These two next slides. What is within ONDA? Yes, you have the cloud, and Alessandro will give you detail about that. But you have the data. There's one of the pillars, obviously. And as I told you before, you have all the data that are proposed today by the Copernicus program. On one hand, the satellite data coming from all this mission that you can see here, and the information product generated by these core services. I just link here, list here, marine, land, atmosphere. One important point to ONDA, we do have all this data. It's not that these data are in some places, then we will recover this data when you need them. No, we do have them. So we really are the master of the ceremony for distributing this data to you. And we can guarantee like that because nobody else is putting the hand in between. An immediate access, improved access, optimized access according to the application that you need to develop. And I stop. Maybe important here to note that mission from Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 and 2014 for Sentinel-1, 2015 for Sentinel-2. So who wants to make time series analysis, he has a lot of information available. And I stopped with this last slide, Alessandro, regarding ONDA. We have the data, you have the brain, we can develop something together. We need each other. We need your feedback. You need to tell us, I can access, I cannot access, I have a problem, I have no problem, we can do better. That's exactly the feedback we're expecting from you. So in terms of political context, the DIAS, ONDA, is funded by the European Commission and is a contract managed by the European Space Agency. Maybe Alessandro, I'll give you the hand with respect to the cloud part.
Thank you very much, Frank. I will share my screen too. Thank you. I suppose you can see just a few numbers from Ovhcloud side. Ovhcloud is a European cloud provider. He got 33 data centers in 12 different locations globally. We have also data center in Singapore, Australia, and Canada, USA. Over 20 years in business with more than 1 million of service produced since 1999. Again, sorry. And we announced a very important partnership with the Serco. We are in business together with the ONDA DIAS since, I suppose, more than 3 years. And we believe a lot of the potentiality that the space economy can bring to the market, to the economy. And in the latest years, a lot of space imagery has been produced, and the capacity is growing and growing more. And there is the need to use tools, important tools, to automatize the extraction information from satellite imagery. This is part of the job, essentially, of the technology that is under the AI, artificial intelligence umbrella, machine learning, and so on. And we believe that this will be the future. So here you can see in the press release that there is an announcement, important announcement of partnership between Serco and Ovhcloud that go exactly in this direction. The roadmap has been defined. We are moving from EIS, infrastructure as service, to PaaS, a platform as a service. Here there is a picture that summarizes the approach of Ovhcloud, having in mind that we have two different tenants, the private and the public one, with a roadmap that go toward the offering of providing to you, to enabling our customer for data analytics, data platform, DBA as a service, especially IA solutions. The IA solution, we define the workflow. This will be soon available on the DIAS. We will try also to launch a specific dedicated campaign on the DIAS on that. Starting from your idea, we will make available our solution for the Ovhcloud storage, for the data processing, for the AI training. So it will be something that is preparing training set for machine learning serving. We are looking for team that have in mind an innovative idea by using Copernicus data, but that also is focused on the market. The new space economy is a challenge. It's a challenge for everyone. We are enabler, and so we want your idea to be enabler for the market. So the criteria are here listed in the table. So the relevance to the hackathon topic, the interest of the project, and for us, the more important things is the usage of the PaaS solution, especially the artificial intelligence, and the application of the outcome. The viability of the economical part of the market is relevant for the evaluation criteria that we set up. So today we have the kickoff of the hackathon. Then you have to run 38 hours of your application during these 2 days. We have a delivery for the 4 p.m. of the 14th, and then we reserve a moment for having your pitch on the 15th at 12 p.m. And finally, we will have during the Phiweek the hackathon, the award of the hackathon that will be the 15th at 5 p.m. We are going to use the Discord tool to support you. We will create dedicated room. You can use Discord to connect to the channel. You will find there a support from our technical team, the Serco team and the Ovhcloud team, to answer to all your questions. The support team will be available from 8 a.m. and up to 10 p.m. And you can ask to Ovhcloud expert all the need that you got from cloud point of view, while you can have also the availability of Serco staff for all the Copernicus data and all the topics that are related to the information from Copernicus data. The jury will be composed by Fanny Boughton, that is our startup program leader. And then we will have the Roberto Giuliani from is the incubator manager at Lazio Innova. Guido Vingione, Serco side, is the business development director of space at Serco Europe, and final also Michele Castorina, that is part of European Space Agency working at Philab. And yes, here there is a summary that is the list of the prizes that we foreseen. As you can see, for Steam, we'll have access, we'll have a voucher for 1,000 euro for access to the Onda services, and a voucher of 500 euro from the second team, and the third team about 300 euros as voucher. There will be also a special prize from Lazio Innova. Lazio Innova can host you in the it's called the Spazio Attivo Roma Tecnopolo, where they offer a voucher for launching your path in the ESABIC incubation program. I know. Thank you very much. I will finish my presentation. And I know that Ilaria and Barbara and the team in Serco Ovhcloud already shared with you the handbook. You can find there more information about the competition. And I suppose that
but I can give them some insight of the handbook, and we can pass it now. We still have time to do that. So I will. First of all, I wanted to to say hello to everybody, that you can put a face on the voices. And but I will stop my video because it's consuming my bandwidth. So what I wanted to show you now, just that you feel even more confident in the next steps, is a short overview of this handbook. So I hope you can see it. Yeah. So you had, as participant, the opportunity to follow 2 webinars where at least the data access elements for Serco and the OVH tools that are proposed during the hackathon have been shortly described. So here, from a Onda perspective, you can access the way to access the data, the bridge between the OVH power systems and the huge massive amount of data is obviously through APIs, catalog, or even a Jupyter notebook. But these are the elements that have been described during the webinar. Important to note that we have dedicated a dedicated space for you to download the data. When I say that we are in the big data concept and that we definitely want to be automatic and so on, we know that generally this is real life. Here we are in hackathon, we just have 2 days. So obviously we have to deal with this constraint. So we dedicated a space where you can download your data, so 1 terabyte volume, and you can put here and build some demonstration of time series analysis or whatever the application you want to realize. If you do have also some other free and open data, you can obviously use them. Take care that if you use license protected data, this is clearly protected, and use respecting these conditions, the condition of this data. With respect to the data and the archive, so you do have immediately accessible through the APIs the data that have a sensing date before 90 days. All this data you can connect, you can access them directly using the APIs, again, as it has been shown during the webinar and during the, maybe if you have time to look to the user guide and so on. All these elements are described in the handbook or in the video. If you focus data that are sensing date older than 90 days, then they are stored in what we call the Cloud archive. You can still access them, but you need first to order this data to be able to download them or use them through the APIs. It's not a big deal. Again, it is described, and the latency is 10 minutes maximum. Can be even less than that. I don't go to the other bullet that were mentioned and said during the webinar and the presentation we did before the event. So basically, as Alessandro said, here we are in the hackathon. It's a 48 hours event. You access to all this technology that has been shown, and even that are paving the way to the collaboration, to the cooperation in between Serco and OVH to really focus these big data challenges, new space economy, all the application that can be done within this context. Here, obviously, what can be very interesting for all of us, and maybe this is stuff that you have already developed in your applications, in your real life, is the merging of various sources of information. I think that's something that we are really all looking to. We see applications, we have customer in Honda, and OVH has their own customer, and we see that one of the strengths of what we are doing are really the capability to use satellite data, obviously, but also storage, computing node, and so on, to merge the information together and derive a value for the community, for the end users. Obviously, we have to put a name under end users. But I would say, if you want to be very, very generic, the ones that are not using space today to respond to their challenges. And that's something that here we're in the middle of the new space economy. Obviously, as fast as possible as it can be, it has to be easy to use. A one-click button solution is perfect, obviously. We are in a 2 days challenge event, so it won't be like that. Nevertheless, it would be very interesting to see some evolution that goes into this direction. And if we are easy to use and bring value, and I should have had it in a cheap way, then the fast to market option is quite straightforward. But that's an element, maybe the cheap part is something that has to be considered, many elements that have to be analyzed for that, but at least the easy to use or the value added information that is provided by merging these different sources of information, that's something that is extremely interesting to see. And innovation, obviously, because we are all get used to address some challenges, but there is many ways to do that. And again, I'm sure that having one single interface and you can derive various indicators and various elements can be very valuable for the end user, can be from an economic point of view, for an optimization of operation point of view, and so on. That's element that can be very interesting to see within the challenges of the application that we will try to design. So I was saying that 2 webinars have been held in the last days. So yes, one is more how I access the data. And again, there is a graphical user interface. There is automatic ways using the APIs. There is a Jupyter notebook that is basically behind that also this platform as a service for artificial intelligence tools that Alessandro was mentioning before. These tools have been presented as well during another webinar a few days after the first one that was more focused on the interfaces and the way to manage the infrastructure, but also on how to get support from the team. With respect to support, so Alessandro, you already mentioned Discord. Just wanted to emphasize the elements on the data access part. Here we would like to follow the process of opening a ticket. I know that is something that may quite time consuming, but to be honest, we structure ourselves such a way that you indicate Ovhcloud Hackathon in the subject of the ticket you're opening, and then that will be the highest priority of the ticket that we will manage in that time. So all the team will be dedicated to that. Important to open the ticket, to record it. We want to record all the elements here to be able also to come back to you, maybe for the first solution to allow you to go further in your journey during the hackathon, but also afterwards, maybe with an optimized solution. Don't forget that you also have access to the user guide. There is many elements here that are indicated. These user guides have been built not yesterday, but since 3 years, with feedback from people that get difficulties to access to the tools. So we already give here a lot of tutorial and guidelines. Important that you are safe on the safe side. Whatever the stuff you are developing here, we are respecting IPR statements. We are respecting confidentiality. So whatever you are developing is not for us. It's really something that you start and on which we want to help you to go further. Lazio Innova is there. We have the director of the space department in Serco also that has a very clear view of the landscape and the way to build on top of what is done. Build on top means build with you. Again, Honda, if you go on the web page, has never been a competitor to our customer, but an accelerator. So we want here to be with you and we respect that. And we have a lot of protection with respect to what you are doing. The jury has been described already. So I think that we provided quite a lot of elements here to to try to give the environment on where you will be. And if there is some question, we're free to answer to them. So I see there is, yes. But Alessandro, I think this is for you. Hello, is it possible to share the Discord joint link again?
Already done by Ilaria. There is the response down.
Okay, fantastic. So I don't know if you want to give some where we stand so far. I don't know, Alessandro, if you have the information. Participants get the links. They already have all these elements.
Yes, we already shared the handbook with the participants. So the participants should have more details about the participation. By the way, through the Discord link, we are open to receive the comments and questions, so we can give our answers.
So we cover most of the point. Interesting to note this award ceremony. So maybe I have a question on my side. Do we have a first session on Friday to review these the results that are prepared by the participants? And before you answer, maybe Alessandro, I want just to emphasize to these participants that the support in presenting your results is completely open. You're absolutely not constrained by slides. The only constraint that you may have is time. We cannot afford that you present for 20 minutes and another team just for 3 minutes. So we here set up a time that you have to respect. But if you have any demo use cases that you can dynamically present using the web interface, that will be welcome.
Yes, Frank. Yes, you can build a web app, a prototype, a slide with a presentation, whatever. You will have a pitch time about 1 hour, 10 minutes per each team, starting from the 12 p.m. of the 15th of October.
Okay, so here we are. So the kickoff is officially launched now.
Exactly.
So next step, I think now all the teams can get their link. Their link are active. They can click on it and get access to the resources and start designing the elements. Am I correct?
Okay, I see in the chat that someone is asking for having the presentation. We will provide the presentation too. And yes, I suppose that it's time to start the job, the hackathon, and you know, to give the best luck for all the participants, and hoping that your idea will be a successful idea for the competition too.
Okay, so next time we come back or we talk it all together, will be on Friday, right?
Exactly, 12 p.m.
Fantastic. So looking forward to see all these new ideas that you can put on the table and to help to develop them.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Alessandro, for this side event. Since there are a couple of questions about the recording of presentation, just to let the audience know that the side event is recorded and can be accessible on the Brella platform after the Phiweek. So all the side events are recorded, so you can easily access them after the conference. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sabrina. Thank you to Frank too, to the team, and see you on the 15th. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
And good luck.